Good day all. I'm Rick Young, co-owner of Tappet Inc., head of operations, Al Voth, owner of Accurate Hydraulics, co-owner of Tappet Inc., manufacturer of the rod jack. Today we are going to show how we build the rod jack and what we can actually do with the rod jack. Okay, today we're throwing on our base plates for the rod jack. Simple. 2 half moons fit right over top of the bolts, wellhead bolts. We put them together on each end with a bolt on itself. The nice thing about this system is obstructions. We can take this, pick it up, move it either way to get out of the way of obstructions so that our cylinders will not have any problem going in and out. Installing our 24-inch cylinders. Once our cylinder is installed, we install our hoses. Very easy, simple setup. That's how you want it. Once the hoses are hooked up on the cylinders, we take the opposite end and we hook it onto our 1/2 horsepower hydraulic engine, which is actually tied into a battery to run. Quick connect to our battery. Now we have power. So when you're rigged up on the wellhead and you want to maybe change out a stuffing box, maybe do some work on the rod BOPs or even do anything above, off the carrier bar. Maybe your stuffing box in your wellhead is a bit too high for the cylinders, which if I bring them back down, my top of my cylinders are going to be right here. I'm not going to be able to install the carrier bar. Simple. Pick your cylinders up to where you have clearance, install. You might not all have the same amount of movement. You'll be losing a little bit on your stretch, but you can still work with that. You know, if you're doing small jobs, changing out stuffing boxes, load cells. Make sure when you go to install, you put your plate in place, just so you don't have any problem with your carrier bar until it falls into its holes and bolt it down. With the carrier bar installed and secured to the top end of the cylinders, if we have a gate here that actually slides in to keep everything locked and in place so that there's no movement at all. Then we install our clamp and we start hoisting. With the jack built and ready for hoisting, we install our load cell. Load cell sits flat onto our carrier bar, and then of course our clamp sits right on top of the load cell. So here, what we use out here to make things go a lot faster rather than an actual hand ratchet is we use our intrinsically safe Milwaukee impact. anybody that's worked with rod clamps, you know you need to keep your fingers out of the way. Many people have lost fingers, pinched their fingers and whatnot, but you know, if you've worked with clamps enough times, you know that just keep your hand out of the way. This is fairly safe because we have just instantaneous control. Like, I mean, we can move it a half inch, we can move it a quarter inch, and you know, of course, we make sure everybody's fingers are out of the way when we're doing this. I myself, I might reach around and grab something, but I know my surroundings. I know that I'm not going to pinch a finger. Okay, pick up. Lower. We're stacking out the rod string right now as we speak. Stop. And I can actually see once we start stacking out, know roughly how much stick up I'm going to have, what I need to work with. Come down. Good. Come down. Up. We have a rod string of 2,600 pounds. The well has been confirmed to be around 1,000 meters. I believe in this particular well, because it's sat for such a long time, that we've got some wax in it. As you can see, my weight runs up to 4,600 pounds, and it will actually start falling off. So I've confirmed with the operator that this well probably has wax in it, paraffin, and that's why I'm dragging. But in order, on a clean well, if I am actually coming in to set this well on tap, I just lower the rod string, put 100 pounds on it or less, and then we will get it into a position where we'll start to do our tapping, causing the concussion on the bottom hole pump to remove the gas lock. So it's very precise in what we do. The weight indicator is very important for part of this operation, and it's safe. Right now we have our string weight. Kind of plays with us a little bit because, as I mentioned in a previous video, we've got wax in this one. This well has sat for a while. We've confirmed it's wax just by our drag and whatnot, and the way that the rod string drags. Right now we're sitting around string weight, and we're going to start coming down, and I'm going to kind of basically count off. Now we tag, now we're taking weight. There, string weight is all sitting, it's suspended in the well. You know, now we'll take everything off when we do this. Again, we close in our rod BOPs, bleed everything off above, back off our stuffing box, up over the top. As you can see, a lot of times that's as high as it is, depending on the stick up on on the rod string. It can be a little bit higher, and that's where our man basket comes in when we actually perform this task. So if I come in to put a well on tap, what I do is I just come in, rig the jack in, drop that lower clamp from underneath the carrier bar. I pick up on it, of course, with the weights in the upward position and your horse's head down. I will obviously try and find tap that way, and what I will do is I will let my weight level out, which doesn't take very long, and then I will just slowly creep down. If you want to creep down a little bit. Good. So I slowly drop 200 pounds off. Now I can pick back up, take that 100 away, and maybe even only put like 50 pounds on it, put it back in the pumping stage, let the pump jack roll, and see if we're not destroying the bottom hole pump. course, when we're working at any height like this, we'd be working with a man basket. But what we're really showing here today is something that we can just utilize with a floor that we can kind of stand on and work on.